So, welcome to Growing Together Nursery. In here, first shade house, we got some blackberries, sweetie pie blackberries. Still got some blueberries rocking. Moringa, got some moringa from seed. Sweet Thai basil. We got some variegated crown thorns, very rare. Some desert roses because they were requested. So I went ahead and grabbed some of those. Do have a couple of herbs left. Got some basil, spearmint, mojito mint, tons of Mexican sunflower, great for chopping and dropping. Got some dwarf everbearing mulberries, got some ajis, sweet peppers, lemongrass, longevity spinach, got Malabar spinach, butterfly blue pea, got a couple pieces of sugar cane left, rocking and rolling. Over here, Cuban oregano, we got Oro Negro avocados that are amazing, black skin, very thin. Got 1 day avocado. Do have these Aunt Lily South Sea salad, which are just stunning. Edible leaves, edible flowers, great for wraps. They turn into like dinner plate size leaves. The flavor is what you make it. It is very nice though to be able to wrap up whatever it is that you want and not have to worry about the carbs for you guys that are watching your carbs. Strawberry trees, got a bunch of these still. $10 a piece. They are flowering, some are still flowering. So even at a young age, you can go ahead and get some fruit. Tastes like cotton candy, very nice. Okinawa spinach, more sweetie pie blackberries here. Got 1 roselle left. More dwarf everbearings. 2 kinds of bananas over here. I got Mahoys and I have the Truly Tinies, the world's smallest banana. 1 red navel, 1 Meyer lemon, passion fruit, possum purple. I got a bunch of mangoes over here, all different flavors, and some sour sop. I got some star fruit over here, 4 different varieties. 1 Patanga tuba left. Got some 7-gallon mangoes, rocking and rolling, waiting for them to be rehomed. I want someone else to go ahead and experience some awesome flavors. I got some Rolenia right over here as well. Don't like the cold, but it is that fruit that you try to go ahead and grow anyways. These will be greenhouse babies for me. I do have my own collection over here, and we'll go ahead and fruit some regardless of what. You know, I will make a fire in the greenhouse if need be, but I will get these babies to grow. Do have some Suriname cherries. These are the red varieties, so very complex. I like the flavor regardless of the status quo. Do have a couple more mangoes over here. I do have a couple ornamentals. I don't do many, but you still got to have some sort of beauty in here. So the globe flowers, some shampoo ginger, canna lilies, some palms that they're needing to be rehomed. We got some casquava, very, very nice. It's sour juicing guava from Costa Rica. Do have another sour sop for us. This is kind of like my area over here where I like to go ahead and have a little section for myself to go ahead and plug into the system later on. Some Chinese red long beans, phenomenal raw. I like them sauteed with a little butter and garlic. Got a pitomba, which I haven't had yet, and it's flowered. This tree has flowered maybe 2 or 3 times, but they're not holding on. So I figured, you know what, we'll give it a little bit of a chance there. A Cleo canna lily, Cleopatra, very cool variegated leaves, and the flowers are like yellow and I think red. This is one of my Mexicola Grandes that I went ahead and grafted myself. It's kicking off over there, and sooner or later this will be planted into the system. See how it holds up in the winter. Supposedly it takes like 15 degrees. So we should be checking on that one here shortly. Different kinds of mangoes over here that I will be up potting here shortly. This is one of my favorites here, the lemon meringue that I was able to graft onto there, put it onto a rootstock, and am going to hang on to this one to see how this bad boy grows. I love the lemon meringue. It is definitely in my top 10 and highly recommend. If you like lemon meringue pie, and if you've never had lemon in a mango, it is mind-numbing. It is like, whoa, what have I been eating all this time? This one is an Angie. Awesome flavor. It is beautiful. I just went ahead and nut potted that one because definitely keeping these. All of these are kind of like my babies. I do have shampoo ginger for people to come over and see what this is all about. But you squeeze it and it produces the milk. Oh, I guess the kids were just here squeezing all of it up. But really nice. They use it in the hair, skin. Some of you actually use that internally. Different strokes. I got a bunch of these mojitos. These are phenomenal variegated leaves. I dig them. They are fun because they come in all different shapes and sizes, and the patterns on here are just, they feel made, you know, made up. Like you wouldn't believe like how you could have, you know, a 50-50 split like that. But this is nature doing what it does, and I'm a huge fan of these. No, they're not edible. I concentrate on all the edible plants and whatnot, but sometimes you just got to have some stuff that you do rock with that, you know, are just nice to be able to look at. They love the wet feet. They thrive in water. You literally can grow them in straight water. Put a couple fish in there and you'll be ready to go. But just the camouflage on there is impeccable. Big fan. I went out and grabbed some more of these as well. So I got a bunch of babies coming, so don't worry. There's plenty enough for everybody. More Aunt Lily's South Sea salad over here, and some katuk. The katuk is special because the leaves taste like peanuts, and it produces little nuts on the bottom of the flowers. Like that, right on the bottom of the flowers there, that produce little nuts the size of blueberries that are high in protein. It's basically like eating a raw peanut. It is like a planter's peanut in a tree. Will die in the winter, but bounces right back just fine. I do have one strawberry tree right here. This is the mother. I like to show people what it's capable of. These little berries will turn bright red, and they taste like Captain Crunch berries and cotton candy. Very nice. They don't like the winter, so I keep mine potted, and it will go into the greenhouse. Well, shade house that turns into a greenhouse, and I keep it protected in the winter. Over here I just went ahead and got some more Barbados cherries, some Okinawa spinach, possum purple passion fruit, and some more of the Okinawa. Over here I'm doing the whole new mango project. I'm starting a bunch of new seedlings and getting a bunch of these going. From all the mangoes that I had this year, I am going to graft them into new species, well, into the preferred cultivars. For example, this one was an orange sherbet that I was able to graft onto here, and what I'm going to do is keep the seedling up here and see what this one will actually taste like. Come up with my own cultivar, wait the 6 to 10 years on this guy up here, but at least get fruit within 3 years on this guy. So, you know, it is a long haul, but, you know, I'm with it. I got a place that I can store some of these and keep them nice in the winter, because that's the worst part about Orange City up here, is that there are some, there's some big frosts that come our way, and they will go ahead and freeze a lot of our stuff, which is the unfortunate part. But down up here, you can just grow in greenhouses, and that can take care of most of it, but you still got to wrap. You still got to do a little TLC for your plants. This is the Shangri-La mulberry that I was just grafting yesterday, getting two going to see how they take. But mulberries are very easy, and they are one of those that keeps on giving. Very good fruit. More mango project action over here. All of these are their different seedlings, and little by little I will be grafting these guys and getting them ready to go ahead and up pot. Over here, it's kind of like more of my mango collection. Different ones, putting on some good growth, up potting them that way that can move them. I did, I lost 28 last winter, but this year I went ahead and I'm a glutton for punishment, as I can show you here. I planted 3 more in the ground, and what I'm doing now is I'm grafting onto the ones that are in the ground. Like this one, I put on a Juicy Peach Scion, and I'm gonna just make these multi-grafts, multi-variety trees, and I am gonna make like a greenhouse, if you will. with posts and some plastic all the way around to go ahead and keep these guys nice and warm. Here's the Maria mango, kicking off nice and well. It's got new growth over here. Just waiting to go ahead and let these get a little bit bigger, and then we'll be grafting these onto existing trees because I do need backups. This was one that I was able to graft 2 years ago, and so far so good. I went ahead and up potted it, put that in, I think it's a 25 gallon, if you will, but it's an amazing tree, an amazing cultivar, and I want to share this with the world. It needs to be tasted. I got a red jaboticaba back over there doing its thing. I got more Rollinia rocking and rolling over here. These are ready to be up potted, but something tells me to just hang on because they have to be put into the greenhouse, so I don't want them to get them too big as well. Got a Venus that I put into the ground over here, and was I'm hoping to be able to taste it next year. It's at a perfect size where I can fruit it. I got a M4 mango that I went ahead and up potted into whatever size that is, maybe 45. And that one is amazing. That one really took me by surprise. I knew it was going to be coconut, but it is beautiful. I plant longevity spinach at the base of my trees over here. I love being able to companion plant. Over here on the trellises, I got trellises over here that I made with some concrete remesh type deal. I got Chinese long beans. I love these guys because being able to come over here and snack on them raw is just ideal. High in protein, and who doesn't want to snack while they work? Over here I got more mangoes stacked up. That way it makes it easier for me to water. And then in here later on, I'm going to make this into like a tilapia pond, little tranquility area, some benches and stuff. It's always a work in progress, and I never wanted to make a video because I want to make it whenever it's done. But you know, is the work ever done? Absolutely not. You're always evolving, always changing. Here's a June plum, and these guys are really nice. They get a little bit bigger than this. Sour fruit, but it's a beautiful sour tropical flavor, and the leaves are actually edible as well. The leaves taste just like the fruit itself, so it's pretty cool to be able to come out and taste the fruit prior to. This is a Malika mango. It's another one of my early grafts that I was able to do a couple years ago. Let me turn this guy around so you can see. Did a little cleft action on there and was able to go ahead and do that one, I'd say about 2 years ago. And a really good fruit. A lot of people cut this tree down. This is the number one tree that is cut down in the mango world because they don't know when to pick it. But I love it. I didn't have a problem eating the fruit. It was amazing and would highly recommend it. This is going back into the food forest area over here. And this is all done on just an acre, you know. It doesn't matter how much room you have. You can grow whatever you want as long as you put a little TLC and keep manning it. Keep putting one seed down and putting another tree in and seeing what works and what doesn't. You know, that's part of it. This is all experimental, and I'm just shooting from the hip sometimes, and sometimes I bat 100. Sometimes I'm like, well, back to the drawing board. But this is Sabara jaboticaba that I planted here, I think like 2 months ago. And usually it doesn't like the sun so much. So I went ahead and planted these Mexican sunflowers to be able to grow up and actually shade it out. So it will look a whole lot better. The leaves are kind of yellow now, but I'm giving it some pigeon peas as like a helper, if you will, for nitrogen fixing. I just come over and clip off the tops, and that will go ahead and shoot off nitrogen down to the roots, which feeds the tree. And so far so good. It's looking a lot better. This tree produces fruit anywhere from like 7 to 12 years. I've already had it for 7 years myself. I still haven't tasted it, but it is interesting because the fruit, if you don't know, the fruit will actually grow right on the trunk, like little grapes all the way up. It is very interesting, very cool. I dig the fruit flavor. Some people are like, well, not so much, but I like it. It's one of those rare fruits that, you know, is taking a hold around here. There's a lot of big growers, and so far so good. Roselle, also known as Flor de Jamaica or Florida cranberry, edible leaves and The flowers, once they come on, you can eat the petals off or make tea out of them. Very, very nice. I got Baldo over here. Avocado, I think that's a fantastic avocado there. That's kind of struggling, but hanging in there. They're trying to come back from the frost or last freeze. This is a white mulberry here. It's got a little bit of rust, but it's hanging in there. Thinking about stripping it to see if that's going to go ahead and kick off. I don't know the name of this guy. This guy came with the property. It's kind of one of these natives, and it looks more like a nitrogen fixer, kind of like more in the legume family, but grows pretty good, and I'm rocking and rolling with it. I went ahead and planted a Savannah cherry over here, which is cold hardy, and it's supposed to be a sweet berry, and fruits here within, I think they say 2 years, so we'll find out. More roselle. This is the passion fruit, or possum purple passion fruit. That's less than 2 years old, and this guy gave us over 200 fruits this year. It's probably the rock star of this farm, and next year only get better, because I'm going to extend out the cattle panel way over here, you know, put a bench underneath there, nice relaxation / reading area. More longevity around this old guava that took a hit, but I will plant something else in there, but we'll keep the longevity going. Over here, another pigeon pea, next to this yellow krumi chama. Haven't tasted the fruit. Supposedly is very nice, but we shall see. It took a hit from the winter. Came over and taxed them, but we'll see if hopefully this is part of the cultivar and not from seed, because who knows what they grafted it on. But we're in it for the long haul. We'll see what happens with that. Over here we got we have an ice cream bean that was 8 to 9 feet already, and you know, winter came over and took it down. Here was the stump. You know, it was pretty thick and pretty large, and now she's coming back, but I doubt we're going to be able to see it actually fruit here. But I'm a grower, and I have a little bit of a little patience here, and then hey, I already paid for it. We're going to leave it there and see what we can rock and roll with. I'm kind of putting some stuff around it, that way maybe it'll insulate it a little bit better. Green hibiscus, easy to grow, edible leaves, edible flowers, really easy. It's just shooting for the stars, so I rock with it. Back over here on this trellis, we got some velvet beans. Awesome medicinal bean. If you don't know, you better ask somebody. It's that Jack and the Beanstalk type of bean. Got a guava. This guy took a hit. Probably has to be rehomed for sure. Actually removed. I doubt I can even rehome this guy. But yeah, this guy was awesome. He was a stud. Gave us about, I want to say, half a dozen to a dozen fruits, and now is maybe more of a trellis action. Pakistani mulberry, one of the longer mulberries that exists. 4 to 5 inch fruit. Hasn't fruited yet. I'm still waiting and waiting and waiting. More roselle attached to this other little mulberry that I got from a cutting from a friend over in Altamont. Back over here, this little bed, I did some sort of a, forget the name of this guy. Got some seeds for this lettuce. It's supposed to be like a larger leaf lettuce, and went ahead and planted it out. I didn't see it spring up, and all of a sudden now it's here. Grows very fast. I had included some shampoo ginger and a mojito over here just to see what it would look like. So testing it out next to a Russell avocado. They supposedly don't grow up this far, but you know, I'm gonna give it a shot and see what happens. It's the worst that happens. Plus, you can't move avocados. They're pretty tough to move, so it's already planted there. I gotta go ahead and see what it can do. I ain't scared. Over here, got a avocado tree that was gifted to us. He was named Guacamole whenever we first got him, and the name still continues. What I'm doing with guacamole is I'm grafting them, grafting different varieties on there. I got a Joey avocado graft on there that's hanging in there but not looking the best, but little by little I want to graft multi varieties on there and see if we can't get more than just one. In here, this bed got overrun by Suriname spinach, which spinach is good, but I got it everywhere now. The seeds are very, very small in here, So it literally would just burst open and go everywhere. The wind will blow these little seeds around, boom, and just bounce it everywhere. I got some eggplant in there as well, but I got to rip that out. This pomelo, pink pomelo, is one of my favorite citrus, and hopefully I can get some of the fruit up here. Don't know yet. I'm hopeful though. This katuk is amazing. This is the one that I planted last year, and I planted it as a little tiny sprig. I mean, this guy was maybe about a foot tall. Whenever I planted it, it froze all the way back down to the ground, and boom, it sprouted right back up, and now it has like 6 or 7 different stems now. So it's bigger and better than ever. Next to some Mexican sunflower. That's using it as a windbreak. This is great for chopping and dropping. I'll take the leaves off like this, and we'll feed the katuk. That's probably why it looks so green. I'll basically drop it down in there and break that down. It's like chicken manure. I do the same thing for this plantain over here. I was able to locate a plantain. I'll take the dried leaves, and again, the whole thing could be broken down to chop and drop. If not, if you don't cut it down, the wind will come over and knock it over, you know, because the roots are pretty shallow. But I'll take the leaves like this, see all this, drop it down there, and let that break down. And bananas are heavy feeders, so they love all the added organic matter on there. In this bed, it's kind of simple right now. I just went ahead and cleaned it out. But I did some ant lilies, South Sea salad. I did some ají charapita, the world's most expensive pepper. Pretty spicy, but with good flavor. Got a couple radishes coming, some orange gin okra coming along the edges over here. Go ahead and get that going. Got some calendula in there, mixed in there. Over here, it's more of the wilder area. I kind of let this thing go a little bit. The sweet potatoes started taking over, and these guys are very, very vigorous. They took over a bed that I had in here with some cilantro, and they just covered it in no time. But it's all right. I dig the tubers. I eat the leaves. It's phenomenal. I got pink, or purple. Purple in and purple out, and also got the Japanese sweet ones in here. So 2 different varieties, all kind of intermingled. Over here I have a Kerry star fruit, and got a little bit of fruit action on here. Last year this guy was one of the stars. It gave us a ton of fruit. The ants like it, as you can see. The ants like it, but that's part of the deal. When you have sweet fruit, you know, these insects will go ahead and go for it. They're gonna find it before we do, you know. But star fruit's very easy to grow over here. This one took 26 degrees and barely froze back a little bit. It wasn't too bad. But that's one of our big sellers here, star fruit. They do understand that it is an easier one here, and heavy producer. I got some sugar cane. It's one variety for the moment. I am looking for more. If you have any more, let me know. Got santol, which is going to be relocated because it's in the mangosteen family. I didn't know how cold sensitive it was whenever I first got it, but now knowing it froze all the way back and that I'll never get fruit here, probably needs to be rehomed. If not, it's going to get shocked back again. In here I got my gas line, sour guava line. That way we can try to get some juice out of here. Over here is where my watermelons are growing. I initially started them at the base of these gases, and they would run over here. But the weeds got pretty tall, and the vine sensed that there was more area over here, so it all kind of spread out over here in this action. Do got one. It's not going to go for the biggest, but it is going to be hopefully a sweet one. Looks like it's close to being ready. Went ahead and trimmed off the end so that way all the energy would go into the actual melon. It is Moon in the Stars variety, and I got a couple more working in here. Over here, this is mainly more for privacy, if you will. I got a couple dragon fruit trellises that I made last year, but all of those froze over except for one of them actually made it. I think this is the red dragon fruit. Only one out of like 6. I had like 5 different varieties coming. I got that one. and this guy there, but I doubt it. I'm not hopeful on those. I probably won't grow more. I did plant some more clumping bamboo back over here. I don't know the variety. They were given to me by a friend, but they are thick pieces, and they probably grow about, I don't know, 30 feet maybe. This longan did pretty good. Held off 26 degrees with just cheap dryer paper, thin frost cloth. I was hoping for thicker stuff, but I guess Amazon sent me some cheap stuff and it didn't work. But this guy survived, maybe because it had some protection over here. Do have a couple more bananas tossed around over here. More bamboo. I want to get some nice coverage. Back over here, got a yacon in the ground. I got moringa, more bamboo. This is the thinner stuff that I'm yanking out. I don't like the growing habit of it. It spreads way too far out. So it is nice to be able to go ahead and use it for my pots, but it's not something that's ideal for the look. I want some higher growing bamboo. So this one, I got some peach trees from the neighbors. He didn't want it, so he told me to come over and dig it up. And I got, I think, 2 of them right over here. And this guy's already doing his thing. I mean, so young and so new, and boom, already rocking and rolling, giving me a little flower action. We'll see. I'm not a big fan. I mean, peaches are good, but I know the squirrels will come over and tax me. Got a neem tree for, or no, this is moringa, sorry. This is a neem for neem oil, for pesticides. You can make all kinds of cool oils out of there. Spray them on the plants to keep back the insects. More Mexican sunflower I use as more of a windbreak here. More moringa. Moringa grows everywhere here on the farm because it is definitely necessary. I love this stuff and I want more people to grow it. Longevity all around. This is the one and only mango that made it past the graft. This is a Valencia Pride, and it is the most vigorous mango. It is the bamboo of mangoes, if you will. And this guy made it. Went ahead and planted a pigeon pea at the base of this one to also give it some more nitrogen. I know they say don't give mangoes nitrogen, but if you really want to make it grow, I give it a little bit. I'm breaking rules maybe, but you know, I'm trying something new and shooting from the hip. I kind of break a lot of rules, and it's all good though. More pigeon pea. This guy's probably one of the biggest bunch out here, but I'm not really looking for it so much for the actual peas, but I do want the fertilization from it. Different kinds of bananas. This is a Mahoy, puts off 2 racks instead of 1. Also called a double, but hopefully I'll get some by next year. I don't think this will produce right away. It takes a little bit. And then here's what happened to most of my mangoes. They froze all the way back, and now they're shooting from the rootstock. So this was the graft. They should be way up here, but it froze, so now basically turpentine, which isn't a sought after mango. It's run of the mill, and I'm testing it to see if the winter this year is actually going to go ahead and take them down. If they don't, if they actually survive in the winter, what I'll do is I will plant more seeds out here to start a whole nother mango project, because that's what I believe is that some of the grafts make it, once you graft a tree, there's a sugarloaf, was a sugarloaf, now turpentine. I think the grafts probably make it the weakest link in the mango, if you will. So I'm testing it to see if the seedlings will freeze. If they don't, I'm planting more seeds and we'll rock those to come up with new cultivars here on the property. This is a fig that was given to me by the neighbor as well. He didn't want it, didn't have room for it. He doesn't know the variety, and neither do I. So here we go. It's already growing pretty good. I just put it in the ground not even 2 weeks ago, so rocking and rolling. I dig the figs. I will be getting more of those installed out here. I got another one here because they're cold hardy, and I'm trying to put stuff in here that will actually make it. I don't want to lose any more trees. I lost probably about 30, 40 of them last year, and don't want to have any more loss. Here's another fig. Here's a dwarf mulberry here, a everbearing. I will probably graft on more varieties onto here. I just wanted to see how it would actually do and see if it will reach to that 10-foot mark. a plum that he gave me. Again, don't know the variety on the neighbor's gifts, but he didn't want it. He was like, hey, they don't like it because it's sour. Well, I dig sour fruit. I don't mind it. I just planted this in the ground 2 days ago, and it's getting crispy as it should. It will take a little bit. The roots are pretty thick on there, so it will take a little bit before it actually comes back to life. So it doesn't look the best, but hang tight. I'll give you an update on that. Every 10 feet I had mangoes out here. So at most of these spots, there is basically a carcass, and there I am. I'm planting a lot of Suriname spinach and longevity spinach, a lot of tropical spinaches, in order to go ahead and have something in there, because I want a thicker line. So here's part of the seedling in there, growing back. I do have a Myers lemon. This one gave us a ton of fruit last year. This year, not so much. So some years yes, some years no, but I'm not spraying them. I'm not giving them anything that's going to make them push fruit. Here's a rubber tree, a variegated rubber tree that I got from Natalia's garden. Natalia's Garden Center. My apologies. She was able to find these. These are very cool. I don't do a whole lot of ornamentals, but when I saw this one, I'm like, I dig the leaves. I think they're pretty cool, and it's supposed to be a pretty decent sized tree. So we'll find out. And I'm putting some pigeon pea next to this, so that way it will grow bigger and better. You know, why not? Give it some food. Cherry of the Rio Grande over here. It's supposed to be a cold, hardy cultivar. I haven't had the fruit yet, but it's supposed to be pretty sweet. So I'm kind of stoked on that. Pigeon peas. Oh, cranberry hibiscus. Can't beat that. Eat the leaves, eat the flowers. Phenomenal flavor. Great in salads. Shangri-La mulberry. Huge leaves on it. I mean, massive. So this should be a large tree. I've seen some videos where they're like 30 feet. I'm not going to allow it to get that big, just because I don't want to have to climb the tree to go and get the fruit. But I've tasted it. It is very tasty. More figs over here. Got some more cranberry hibiscus. This is a whole lot of weed action. I thought it was something else, but garbage. All right. In here, which is at the base, this is purple asparagus. Planted a couple of clumps out of here and didn't even know this one was over here. Sometimes I surprise myself. Over here, I have a star fruit that I actually grafted twice. The first time didn't take, so I regrafted it, and is looking good. It does thrive in the shade, so although it's small, it's hanging in there. Here's one of the sugar apples that I grew from seed. There is an apple on here, I promise. Give me 1 second here. And there she is. Beautiful, sweet flesh. Like the name suggests, sugar apple. It is amazingly sweet and non-offensive flavored. It is an amazing tree. The leaves will fall during the winter. It is deciduous, but it will bounce back. Easy to grow. Produce fruits within 2 to 3 years, I think, from seed. Did another one over here, and this one's also fruiting. You get better fruit set whenever you hand pollinate. I didn't have the time this year. There was a ton of flowers on here, but I didn't take the time to actually do it, so I get one. That's all right, you know. Sometimes you just get busy and you just let the tree do its thing, and hey, I'll take the one, enjoy it, and move on. Next year I won't hand pollinate. I'll have some more time. Here's a dwarf Hawaiian star fruit. This guy had like 50 fruits on here, and it probably, let's see, nope, not ready. Nope, giving it a little bit of a tug, and it doesn't want to come, so I'm gonna leave it. But dwarf Hawaiian star fruit, I don't know the exact size on this guy, but supposedly on the sweeter side. I'll take the dwarf, because in this line I don't want anything too big. But it literally had a ton of fruit. We had some really strong winds. It came in, blew them all off, and now we're back to it. Back to 1 or 2, you know, which is fine. I'll take a small crop this year. I'm not expecting a bunch. Ashur Kambangan star fruit over here. This one is supposedly a sweeter variety as well, kind of like a carry. That's kind of what I'm chasing. but I want different varieties to be able to graft them and make my own as well later on. So this guy had a couple fruit on here, but I think they all blew off. Haven't tasted that one yet, but the cranberry hibiscus is over here helping them out, so hopefully we'll insulate them. I want to keep all this foliage for winter. That way it will give them some sort of protection. Also from the winds, if we get any storms, I want more trees in a line. That way they can kind of rub up against one another and it holds them up. Before it was 10 feet a mango, which some would say is too close, but Mr. Winter came over and went ahead and burned them all back, so that took care of that. This is chaya, which is Mexican tree spinach, I think, and they say that this can solve the world hunger problem. I haven't had this yet, I haven't eaten it, but you're supposed to cook it for like 15 to 30 minutes. I've seen different videos and people suggest different times. Just cook it for more than 15 minutes. It does have cyanide in it, but supposedly it's a very healthy green and propagates very easily. Over here we got a Fuyu persimmon, which is my mom's favorite. It is the non-astringent type and crunchy, very sweet. There's only one fruit on this little guy, but it is cold hardy, and that's the best part about these trees. You don't have to do too much to them. I was trying to go for more of a set and forget type of system in here. So in these two lanes, I'm going to have stuff that I don't have to protect, because it can get pricey. It can get pretty tough whenever all the other stuff needs work over here. So I want to go ahead and set up this stuff to where it's just set and forget. But this is growing. I do want to do a whole nother line over here. Got to run some irrigation, get some more mulch, but things are looking good over here. And every day putting in more work, man. I don't sleep, man. Every day you get up and move. Pineapple guavas. I got over here, this is the Barbados cherry acerola, high in vitamin C, high in iron for the ladies. Gotta have this stuff. Then Suriname cherries. I'm wanting to do like a whole shrub area all the way around to kind of go ahead and give it a little bit of privacy to kind of hang out, put some benches over here, a little water feature. Cool little spot to chill and zen like. Nectarine for my big bro. That was his favorite fruit. So yeah, we're still moving and still adding and subtracting, but for the most part, this nursery is thriving, rocking and rolling. We're getting more stuff in here all the time. I am growing from seed as well. I'm getting plugs in, so every day expanding, every day learning from this whole process and enjoying it. So y'all come out and see me, come over and take a look. I don't have a website yet, but it's in the works. We will go ahead and start one here shortly. And but besides that, come on out, see what we got, see what we can do for you. Not shipping at the moment, but very, very seldomly can I and will I do it. You know, it depends on where you're at and what it is that you want. But yes, let me know. Give me a shout out. Send me a message. Phone number is 407-702-3126. Later.